Hi everyone, Aldbar here. This is my solo walkthrough and guide to the level 6 heroic quest, Needle in a Face Stack, on the Elite difficulty. Enjoy. Hi everyone, Warjack here. This is one of the quests in the second Feywild quest chain. This quest was requested by one of the viewers. I've been pushing it off because the map in this quest is bugged. I was really hoping that they would fix it in the last patch, but they didn't. So, I'm gonna just have to deal with it as it is. This quest is located all the way down past the Pixie Village to the right. It's inside of this little grove. And this part will be sped up. There is a very tricky optional that I'm going to go for right at the beginning of the quest, which is very unique and very interesting. But since it's kind of not consistent, I recommend always doing it first, so if you fail, you can just restart and try again. For those of you who don't care about it and just want to get to the meat of the video, I'll leave time on the video, so you can skip right to there. As I said, we're going to head straight to the optional.
Somewhere in these woods there is treasure that grows on trees. One specific tree deserves more attention than others, for it bears the chest containing Hearsom's magic needle.
After clearing out this first group of monsters over here, we're going to head to the optional. Now, to do this optional consistently, you're going to need a few skills to be boosted up. I believe you need 30 spot, 30 search, and I recommend also having 40 jump. If you don't have a high enough spot and search, there's a good chance you're not going to be able to get past the middle part of this objective. So, while I'm not a class who does spot or search, I had to do some gear manipulation and some other nasty tricks to get my stats up high enough. So I got the 30 spot that I need, and the 30 search, and 40 jump. Here we've got this archway who leads to nowhere. If you're doing this with the party, you better get the whole party standing here because this is a one-time event. You can see this green mist, and you'll see I also have, it says search. Well, I can see that I'm spotting something. There's going to be two paths, but only one of them can be opened fully. Right now you can see that the left path is not possible, so that's why I was standing in a place where I can jump quickly to the right path. Also, every time I should have above me, I should be able to see that it says spot, that I'm spotting a potential path. That should be a hint that it is possible. And if your spot isn't high enough, you'll end up wasting a lot of time searching and eventually fail and fall down. Eventually both paths come back to the center, and that's how you complete this objective. And as you can see, it disappears behind you, and the gate gets blocked off. So this is a one-time. But this is pretty close to the beginning of the quest. Pretty quick. And if you're doing solo runs, this might be a good place to farm Fate Twisted. Anyways, if you jump over, you'll land over here. There's a named dire bear, and he's guarding a chest. And if you kill him, you can open up the chest. Here we come out of this little alcove and we get to the river. This river, to both sides, to both left and the right, is just a dead end. Also, right in the middle of the river, there's like this little pile of gold at the bottom of it. Kind of a consolation for anybody who missed the bridge. Will end up falling into the river, so you get a few gold pieces. Okay. As I said, both sides of this river are dead ends. We're just going to cross the river, and we're going to... There's, from here, 3 paths. I'll be trying to do my best to explain the geometry of this particular map, because it can be very confusing. You can get lost and walk around in endless circles. So I'll try to do my best to make sense of this whole place. Okay, right as you cross the river, there's one little short path that leads to the lower or the internal ring. To the left, we have this path that leads up to the wooden bridge, the log bridge. Here's the end of the upper long path, and to the right is where the bridge is, the wooden bridge. This loops back to the center, and it also will bring us eventually to the second part of the map. I'm going to head back down and take the third path back up. That will lead us right to the beginning of this map. In this quest, there's a lot of these dense deer. So if you check it out, these actually count towards your kill count when you kill them. And you can also notice they have way more hit points than typical deer have. So these are actual kills. If you're going for all kills, well, you're gonna have to kill the deer. So sometimes they get stuck, they just stand, I don't know, as if they're looking into the headlights. And other times they just run for it and they drive you crazy. So if you try to do this with a melee, they can be a real pain. Also, I believe that they don't have any animations for falling over, so when you stun them or trip them, they just like freeze in place. Whatever. Here's a classic example of what happens when they run away. They drive you crazy. So if one of them runs away, I'm not gonna lose my mind. This path over here leads back towards where that bridge was. But I'm going to keep on going up this hill. Okay, here we're going to reset this quest. For anybody who's joining right now, here's the map. As you can see, it's bugged. Doesn't open. That's it. So I spent like an hour opening up this entire map. So here's where we start. Here, this little door is where we're going to end up at the end. There's a shrine, and there's a second one next to that portal, that invisible bridge, and there's one more over here. So here's the different areas. This top central area, this is the high ground, okay? There's going to be 5 chests located here. Over here is the bottom ring. This is the central bottom ring. And over here, starting from the dead end and from the river also, is the upper ring, the outer ring. Okay? So we're going to first go through this upper central part. We're going to clear out the 5 chests over here. And then you can jump down and you can go to this section. This is where you have the other 5 chests. One of them sometimes spawns over here, or one of the 5 on the far right over there. So if you're just here to get the chest and leave, you would go around this top area, then jump down and do that. So first we're going to head over to this shrine and clear out the area. Now there's semi-random elements to this quest when it comes to the location of the chest. That means there's like 7 or 8 different trees that can have a chest hanging from them, and knowing where the locations is important. From here you can see this like little pattern that's actually the base of the other shrine. So you'd finish the top area, and then you just jump down here. Here you can see this is the bottom path, and this hill takes you up to the top path. So you would finish the top area and jump down over there, and go check out the other shrines. Go check out the other mimic chests. Also here on the map you can see this little door. Right now it's just a archway, there's nothing here. You can just walk through it. Later they'll spawn an opening that will lead us to the end of the quest. For now though, I'm just going to clear out the rest of the trash on this central top part, and then we're going to get on to the chests. Here's the other side of the wooden log bridge. And here's the rocks where we passed before to the invisible bridge. Okay, let's get to these chests. You got a whole bunch of different checks you can do. And I'm just going to go for what's safe. You can fail the check twice. After the second time, you're not going to have an opportunity to get the objective. There's an optional objective over here to correctly detect which ones are mimics. And if you fail even one of them, that means you don't correctly detect it, you won't be able to complete that objective. So I'm just going to play it safe and use Intimidate because I've got a high Intimidate. Each one of them just gives you a different text dialogue. It doesn't make any difference. They all lead to the same conclusion. Now, you don't have to kill them. The objective is just to detect them, and we're looking for the one who's the actual chest. If you got True Seeing, you can see, once you drop them down, you can actually see, like all mimics, you can see that they have a health bar. The reason I'm killing them, other than just the fact that I want all the kills, is because when I want to look through the chests, when I want to look for the next chest to find, I'm just clicking between select next. And once I've killed the chest, I don't have to accidentally click on it. So this is kind of like making sure that I'm cleaning up after me. Also, if you can't reach the chest, you can just jump and click on it. Once you clicked on it, you can stay inside of the dialogue box, even though you're too far. Fun fact about the mechanics of these mimics: as soon as you activate them, they hit you with a sticky. It does not do any damage, it just slows you down. It's not actually an attack, it automatically happens, there's no way to avoid it. So just jump away before they actually hit you. But you're gonna get stuck with that sticky for a few seconds anyway. So here we're back to the start. There's usually 3 or 4 in the top area on this first part, and also to the left over here there's potentially some chests, sometimes from this mushroom or the tree next to it. If all the chests that we found so far were all mimics, we should be left in the optional with 3 chests left. Over here you see I've got 4. That means I've missed one someplace. And he's located a little bit in a tricky area, and we'll get back to him later. This tree also sometimes has a mimic hanging from it. For now we're done with the top. So now we're going to head down into the circle, or we're going to go down to the lanes. So we're going to start with the internal lane, and we're going to start from the dead end of the internal lane and make our way through it. One of the randomized elements of this quest is the monsters. It means the monsters spawn in fixed locations, but what they spawn as seems to be totally random. So it's like there's going to be an elemental, which, fire, water, earth, it's completely random. And they'll have different kinds of things that will spawn, the different kelpies, and there's a whole bunch of different random options that they can spawn from. Here's the river. This was the short passage to the river. Anyway, so right now we're inside of the internal loop, or the lower ring. The only way to get out of the lower ring is through the 2 far ends of the lower ring. So either you go to the river, or you go all the way to the place where it leads you up to the higher ring. But I actually found there's a way to cheese it next to this big pile of rocks over here. If you got a good jump, you can actually climb up and you can make it up onto the top ring. But we're not going to be using that. We're just going to stay on the path. Okay, this tree happens to be located on the lower ring, and it can potentially have a chest. So, this is so far where we're holding right now. If you're coming just from the top area, you might want to jump down and check that there's no chest before you continue up to the upper ring. Okay, so basically now we've completed the lower ring. We've done, starting from the dead end, we've made it all the way to the passage that brings us up to the upper ring. Right above us over here is where the first shrine was. We're looking up towards the first shrine. And now we're going to walk up this hill, and this is going to bring us up to the upper ring. This is like the second area where the chests spawn. Here, I love this over here. Since this map is bugged, I mean, look at this. Here I am walking off the map. This is really funny. I don't know. So, I'm going to embrace it for what it's worth. I find this really amusing, the fact that they put you to sleep, and then as soon as they attack you, they wake you back up, as if putting you to sleep served no purpose. Okay, here's that little texture that I pointed out before. This is the second shrine. For some reason, players are, well, sometimes I find players are really intimidated by mimics. I don't really get it. I think mimics are mainly a surprise factor. The fact that it surprises you is what really turns people off, not how dangerous or scary the monster is. So knowing it's a mimic in this quest makes it, I guess, much more tolerable. I had recently pulled a chest and did not know it was a mimic. I was doing, I believe it was Haunted Halls of Evening Star, and I got to the end chests and I completely forgot about the fact that one of them is a mimic, and I literally jumped. I haven't got scared like that in DDO for many years, so it actually surprised me. You also have to wait a few seconds after you lower them from the tree before they become active. Also had a funny bug, I guess, that happened once, that the chest started to chomp its way and move while I was trying to open it. I had to wait for it to run into a wall, so it couldn't run away from me. Anyway, so right now we're inside the second area. This is the upper ring, and this is where most of the second group of chests is located. Standing here right to our left is where that one tree on the lower ring was, and the rest should be basically on the upper ring around here.
You have a good feeling about this chest. Perhaps it is the one you seek.
Okay, so we just got a DM text that says you have a good feeling about this chest. In other words, that's the chest we really need. Here inside of this open hollow bark, we can see this. Well, it's an obviously mimic. You can see it move. This is always a mimic. Just an extra optional one. Before I go and pick up that final chest, I mean the correct one, I still want to complete the objective and clear out the rest of the monsters, so that's what I'm doing right now. Again, if you don't care about this and you want to skip, you can, but I do recommend you see the rest of the locations, because if you don't find the proper chest, you're going to be walking around here for a long time if you keep on missing the same location. So I did my best to show all of the different places that can spawn chests, so I do recommend you at least wait for that. Okay, here's the final location on the upper ring. So this is the passage, the end of the upper ring. And kind of around this point, there's this one big tree, and it can have a chest hanging from it. So we've covered all the locations of the upper ring. So there's, yeah, like I said before, there's one on the, who's potentially on the bottom ring, but we've covered all the chests in this area. Okay, let's go get the actual chest and move on. This chest, we need to lower it down. First of all, you're going to get some loot.
A unicorn leaps out. How did it even fit inside?
And it's going to spawn this unicorn.
As you defeat the unicorn, a deer bursts out from it. Is that normal? The deer falls. Something stirs inside, and then the blink dog falls. But something flips out of it. Is that a bat? A bird? Here we go again. The raven is slain. As it falls to earth, an egg rolls out. Thankfully, the egg doesn't move. Yet.
Fun fact, if you can't find the unicorn or the doe or the dog or raven or the egg or whatever, if you can't find it on the map once it's spawned, you open up the map. Bugged as it is, there'll actually be like that thing that they have for when they show a kobold on the map. They'll have this little kobold head, but it has to be in some location where you've walked before, so if you've got fog of war, like that blacked out part of the map, you won't be able to see it. Also, he always eventually, well, the monster eventually shows up next to that gateway on the map that we showed before, the arch. It was basically marked by a door. So, even if you lose him, you can always go to that location and you'll find him there.
A small winged shadow sweeps down from the sky and plucks the needle out. Just as you reach for it with a victorious yoink, the tiny dragon.
As you can see, he's heading towards the end, that archway. You don't have to run after him, he'll eventually show up there, so you can take your time. Okay, that's it. We've made it back to the hill next to the river. Here where we walked up before, and now we're going to walk over this bridge. Just a tip, if you're running after one of the monsters, don't kill him inside of this bridge because the one who spawns after him will fall down. Now that he's made it to his lair, so now it's a clickable objective you can go in. And here I'll finally show you where the last tree, or the last potential place on the upper section is. Right next to this invisible bridge is where you can find, behind this tree, you can find the last chest. Last potential location for the chest. This one gave me a lot of trouble. I missed it a whole bunch of times and drove me crazy. So if you're looking for the chest and you haven't found the proper one and it happens to spawn here, this can really be a nightmare for you. You might find yourself restarting the quest because you can't find it. That being said, if you really want to be cheap about this quest and want to do it, you can always step into the quest, click on the first chest, and if it's not it, just step out and reset. Step out and reset until you get it like one of the first 3 chests, and as soon as you discover it, just run to the end. So this quest can be really short.
As you pursue the creature into the cave, you hear its excited voice up ahead.
Aha! Adventurers in my lair! I'm a real dragon now, so behold my mighty horde and tremble! No, it's fine. You don't have to tremble. You want to play a game?
This entire area is built up of tons of 3D models from tons of different other locations, all smashed together. But there's also, I think, 5 collectibles, so I'm getting that first. Here's the skull from Argynvost. Okay, now you can take a look around over here. It's really bizarre stuff all collected. Now, the 2 things I want you to note is these 2 big pillars, because we're going to use them for one of the objectives in this quest.
The little dragon puffs up with indignation.
Rude! What are you, some kind of fae asking for my name like that? You can't have my name. But you may call me Joe.
The little dragon scoffs at your offer of money.
I already had a bunch of coins. I threw them in the river. They're only good for skipping. What else you got?
The little dragon responds.
You dare challenge me? In my lair? At my seat of power? Yeah, whatever.
There is only one valid option that you can click on. So that's right underneath Intimidate. There's this one. How about a game?
The little dragon bounces with excitement.
A game? Oh, I love games. If you win, I give you a shiny. And if I win, you stay here forever.
The little dragon announces.
We're gonna play hide and tag. So first, you close your eyes. No peeking. And count to 10. And then find me and tag me. And then you run. Ha! Ready?
The little dragon explains.
Winning is easy. All you have to do is make sure I don't tag you back. Until I get super extra tired. Or bored.
Okay, so he's going to first hide. We're going to have to find him. And then he's going to try to tag us. I want to complete the objective without being tagged. That will complete another objective. So I want to be very careful and make sure he doesn't hit me at all. It's not like I'm going to get damaged, but I'm going to lose that on the optional. So right now, if you listen carefully, you can hear snoring. Okay? And as you get farther or closer to the noise, that'll be an indication as to where he is. Here we go. Now, there's a few different ways to beat this. One you can do is you can just jump up and climb here. and he can't get to you, he can't tag you, blast you, but I'll show you a safe method for everyone. Basically, just go, and we're going to pick one of these two pillars and just run around it. Basically, you're always going around corners, and he always keeps on breaking his line of sight, so he can't blast you with like a fireball or magic missile, whatever, because you're always around the corner. So as long as you don't run too fast, like if you've got a barbarian or something, you should be fine. You should be like in a constant distance from him, and you don't run into anything over here, you just run in a circle. Just keep on going around the pillar.
The little dragon jumps up and down.
What fun! Thanks for being so very entertaining. You can have the knee. I just wanted to have a friend all along.
This is the portal from Wake Me Up Inside.
With Hirsam's precious needle in hand, you prepare to offer him a bargain he can't refuse.
Okay. As I mentioned before, this quest was requested by one of my viewers, so if you got any requests, feel free to submit them. I'll try to do my best. If not, at least I'll put it on the list and bump it up based on other people's requests. Yeah, so I put a lot of time and effort into opening up this map. I know it's bugged, so I hope it was useful. And as always, if you've benefited from this guide or if you just enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you in a different video. Bye.